Okay, well, let's do the thing.
That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you use to unscrew these bolts.
Oh, no. No. Oh, dang it. Here we go.
More pipes to connect.
Blue ones, move all of them. Great. The red ones, move just the red ones. And the green ones, just move those sides. Damn.
Here we go.
Yay. That wasn't too bad. Now let's look. If you look at a duck is 1, square is 4. I can't make that. I can make the 4, I can't make the 1. If you pull the emergency brake, you die. Speaking of, I should probably save. I'm just naming them all something. See?
Better not mess with that puppy.
Makes you question the practicality of that emergency brake. Anyway. Tell engineer, hey, we found out your little thing.
Engineer, this better be Miss Gerard.
Well, actually,
Forget it.
Okay, rude.
it looks like this thing opens up. But how?
We'll probably have to make the 4 and the 1.
Nancy, you missed it.
Missed what?
The argument of the century.
Joe, he's exaggerating.
Aw, come on, you heard them. They were ready to tear each other to shreds.
Who?
Charlena and Lori.
All we heard was the tail end of it, and unfortunately we really couldn't make out what they were saying.
So you don't know what they were arguing about?
No.
But whatever it was, both of them were absolutely out of their minds, livid.
And it would probably be a good idea to find out why.
Let me look into it. I'll talk to you later, okay?
You know where to find
You
us.
don't do anything.
More questions?
Would you like to see the letter that Lori gave me as a reward for finding her?
The one in which Jake Hurley supposedly tells his niece how to find his lost mine? No, thank you. I happily leave it to you to try to solve the mystery of his disappearance.
Rude.
You can afford to look foolish, dear. I can't.
Rude.
Aren't you even going to try finding out what happened to Jake Hurley?
No time. The only reason I haven't insisted that Lori release me from all the silliness is there's always the possibility that what happened to him has the makings of a bestseller. Although I highly doubt it.
Why are you so sure that Jake's story wouldn't make a bestseller?
His story is an all too common one. A man wanders off into the desert in search of gold and never returns. Why? He either doesn't have enough food or water, or he encounters hostile natives.
But why was his train found out in the middle of nowhere with just the dead engineer on board?
That does make the story a little more interesting. My guess is the engineer got tired of waiting for Jake to return, took off in the train to get help, and died of a heart attack along the way, after which the train rolled to a stop in Blue Moon Canyon. Anyone experienced enough to single-handedly run a steam engine would have been quite a bit older than Jake.
What were you and Lori arguing about earlier today?
Lori and I? We weren't arguing. We were simply discussing a topic about which both of us are passionate, that's all.
Were you discussing her wanting to be a romance novelist?
No. And even if we were, that's really none of your business. I know that sounds harsh, but really, Nancy, eavesdropping is so tacky.
Actually, it was Frank and Joe Hardy who overheard you. They said I should talk to you before they gave me all the gory details, but since you obviously don't want to tell me your side of the story, I'll just have to get the scoop from them.
No, you don't have to do that. A storyline that Lori submitted to me found its way into my last book, despite the fact that she never received compensation for it. She's reading the book now, and when she got to that part, she freaked.
Ooh, bad Charlena. You really shouldn't do
And
that.
that's what you were arguing about?
Yes. Now, legally, she can't prove anything, and I'm certainly not about to admit anything. And it's not as if she needs the money. But that's what we were arguing about. For what it's worth, I'm going to talk to this producer I know to see if he'll cast Lori in his next movie. It'll help ease my conscience, and who knows? She could wind up being a star. I mean, she is blonde.
Rude. I mean, I'm not blonde, but still rude.
What do you think happened to Camille?
She probably died of something mundane like pneumonia or even measles. Now, if it was wintertime when she died, and they were in the mountains, Jake no doubt kept her body on the train for months before he buried her, which is rather delicious in a morbid sort of way.
Charlena, you have issues. That is... I don't know how to respond to that. Rather... Could you maybe pick a word other than delicious? That was poor word choice, especially for a writer, Charlena.
I'll let you get back to your writing.
Remember, if it's juicy, I want to know about it.
That's not helping. Okay. Moving on. I am now... Okay. I am unsettled. I'm unsettled right now. Going down to the end of the train.
Whoa! Somebody must have thrown the emergency brake.
The question is, did somebody throw the brake? Or something?
Oh, Joe, now you sound like Lori.
Hey, I was the first one on the scene, and I saw no one.
Who was the next person on the scene?
John Gray. Then Balducci came bursting through one door while Frank and the engineer came through the other. Boy, was that guy ticked. He said the train could have derailed. He reset the brake, muttered a few choice words, then headed back to the engine just as you and Lori showed up.
Everybody was there except Charlena. I don't think she left her laptop the whole time.
Do you think she could have thrown the brake and snuck back to her laptop without your seeing her?
Not likely, but possible, I guess.
The question is, why? What did she or anybody else stand to gain by stopping the train?
Answer? Nothing. Which is why I think we should at least consider the possibility that something less human in nature may be at work here.
Joe.
Ah, Joe.
I'm going to see if Balducci's done dusting for fingerprints. Catch you later.
Engineer,
Hi, I'm Nancy Drew. I talked to you before, very briefly.
you're not the one who pulled the emergency brake, are ya?
No.
Good. Because if you were, I'd have to come back there and throttle you. Old as this train is, it's a wonder it stayed on the tracks.
Is there any way that brake could have been activated accidentally?
You pull on the handle, the wheels lock. You don't pull on the handle, they don't lock. Did somebody pull on the handle by mistake? I guess it's possible, but if you ask me, anybody that stupid has no business being on a train, or anywhere else for that matter. Now,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I gotta get back to work.
Okay. Yeah, you would have to be pretty stupid to read the emergency brake, don't pull or whatever, you know.
More questions?
Were you able to find the name of Jake's train engineer?
I came across 3 references to the fact that Jake had an engineer, but I'm afraid none of them included his name. I failed. Sorry.
Do you have a theory as to who pulled the emergency brake?
Well, I know it wasn't me. I assume it wasn't you, and I highly doubt it was Lori. So that leaves those 2 friends of yours, Mr. Gray and Mr. Balducci.
They're not my friends.
What do you think their motive was?
I don't know about your friends, but perhaps those other 2 simply thought it would be fun. Boys will be boys.
Well, I'll let you go.
All right, then.
I don't really like you, Charlena. Boys will be boys is highly problematic. Sorry.
Sup?
So are you making any progress in here?
Oh yeah, not only am I getting some real unusual EMRs, that's electromagnetic readings, but take a look at this.
You've got something?
I set up a camera and took some time-lapse photos. Sometimes I was in the room, sometimes I wasn't, but somewhere along the line, I managed to get a shot of Camille.
Where? You don't mean that little blob, do you?
Yep, that's Camille.
Okay.
You're skeptical. That's cool. Just remember, the key word when it comes to ghostly phenomena is energy. That blob is the result of Camille's residual life force, spirit if you will, reacting with the chemicals in the photographic paper.
Couldn't it just be a flaw in the photographic paper?
Okay, it could be that too, but it's not. Trust me.
Okay.
Thanks for the chat.
Pleasure talking to you.
Glad you dropped in. Lori told me she'd given you a letter from Jake Hurley that says how to find his mine.
I didn't mention it before because it's very bizarre.
Lori should have given that to me. I mean, I'm the trained professional around here.
Wow.
Let me take a look.
You're acting like a 4-year-old. That's real mature. You should have given it to me. It's mine. I'm the trained
I've seen
professional.
2 words. Useless. Those are just the rantings of a guy who spent way too much of his life swirling mud around in pans under the hot sun. 5-star nut job.
Lori says she found this letter in a wastebasket.
Exactly where it belongs.
Did you find any fingerprints on the emergency brake handle?
None that were any help, thanks to Casey Jones up there. I told the old geezer not to touch anything, but he went and got his big, fat, oily paw prints all over the place. If we didn't need him to drive the train, I'd charge him with obstruction of justice.
Did you do anything else besides look for fingerprints?
Of course. As a matter of fact, I found this. Probably fell out of the perp's pocket while he was yanking on the handle.
Looks like some kind of thermometer.
Yeah, like the kind a certain ghost hunter uses on that bogus show of his.
You think John Gray threw the brake? But why would he do that?
Because they're thinking about axing his show, that's why. I checked with this buddy of mine in L.A. Gray's got to come up with something real big real soon, or he's toast. And you can't get much bigger than a train with a spooky past that's prone to strange accidents, now can you?
Have you confronted John with your suspicions?
All in due time. I always like to get my ducks in a row before I make an arrest.
Cut it out. I can't. I'm in the middle of a conversation, goddammit.
I came in when it wasn't talking.
Yeah, I know. It was talking.
Well, that's just the thing that happens with filming. See, yeah, that just happens. Oh, can you just give me this cut out? You can just cut it out. You can just cut it out.
Clue Crew Gamer, I already told you 3 times.
Let's look for an instant.
What?
Let's look for an
No. Sorry, brother.
You're going to arrest him?
Hey, the train could have derailed. We're talking reckless endangerment, attempted assaults, maybe even attempted murder.
Attempted murder?
John Gray wanted publicity. That's exactly what I'm gonna give him.
Well, your hair is blue.
Thanks for your help.
Not
That
a
didn't-
problem.
That didn't really- Okay.
Sickly Sarah caught a germ so new it made one of her pretty green eyes turn blue.
Okay. Got some peanuts for the thermometer.
Hey, glad you stopped in. You gotta listen to this.
What have you got?
I put this digital recorder in the corner where Camille showed up in that picture and turned it on so it would just keep recording. Now when you play it back at normal volume, all you hear is background noise. But when you turn the volume way up and run the signal through a filter or two, hear that?
I hear something. It kind of sounds like a woman singing.
Not just any woman.
Camille.
So be careful what you say in here. She's listening.
Are you by any chance missing a small digital thermometer?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. When I went through the box I'd packed them in, that one over there, I came up one short. I was hoping to set up at least 6 in here so I could check for cold spots. How did you know I was missing one?
Because Tino Balducci found it by the emergency brake handle when he was dusting it for fingerprints, and now he thinks you're the one who pulled it.
That's ridiculous. I didn't have any reason to pull the emergency brake.
Is it true that your show is in danger of being canceled?
Newsflash, my show was canceled. Happened last night. But what nobody knows yet is that it's been picked up by a major TV network. Not only am I still on the air, but I'm sitting prettier than ever. Any other questions?
Were you in this room the whole time prior to that emergency brake thing?
Of course not. I made a couple of trips to my compartment in the sleeping car to get more equipment. But did I get an overpowering urge to pull the emergency brake while I was there? No.
I'll let you get back to work.
Goodbye.
Okay.
What's going on?
Thanks for your help.
Not a problem.
That looks just like the stuff John Gray has his thermometers packed in.
Tino.
What's going on?
You're the one who pulled that emergency brake, aren't you?
Me? What, are you joking?
Care to explain how packing material from the box those thermometers were in wound up on the floor over there?
You're just some teenage nobody. I don't have to listen to this.
Screw you.
You're right,
Fuck
you don't. Neither
Fuck
do the
you.
other passengers.
Fuck, we're not even
But
doing
unless you
screw
give
you.
me a good
Fuck
reason not
you.
to, I think I'll tell them anyway.
Yeah.
Look, maybe I was a little hasty, pointing a finger at the ghost guy like that. Maybe all those lies people have been spreading are starting to get to me. Maybe I thought it would help if I got a little positive press by solving a crime aboard a haunted train. Maybe I apologize. And, maybe you can see fit not to let any of this go beyond this room?
Well, no harm done, I guess.
Great. Well, what else can I do for you?
What else can you do for me? Honey. Honey. I'm kind of doing you a favor right now. I could go tell everyone.
It's been great talking to you.
Don't mention it.
Just saying. So excuse you, I'm just some teenage nobody? I don't think so. Anyway, let's go back to... Hang on.